that's why you got the God Pan. All of that goes into that whole spirit of how they want, mankind, amongst the animals, Meaning, like I said, we love the animals and we can interact with the animals. But I'm just saying that spirit of Pan. Pan, what would he do? He was the goat man, and then he'll run around and do things to little boys, and little children, defile things. All connected. It's all the same connection. Abort the children and uplift the animal. That's why they got their PETA. So all of those organizations, yeah, we support animal life and cats and dogs. The same ones doing that while they're eating some lunch. They're eating their turkey sandwich. But we love animals. Oh yeah, I love animals. I support animals. I donate 10 cents a day. But they're sitting there and they're eating ribs and eating eating all kind of animals. You know what I'm saying, on their plate. Yeah man, I tried. Oh man, you ever had oxtail? Oh man, you ever had fish? You ever had crab? Oh man, crab's the best thing, man. You know, but they got a dog sitting right next to them. Yeah. I love animals. So that's why you see that they had it set up too, where when you say a person, take the life of a dog, that's a cop dog or whatever. What happens? That's why they get those long jail sentences. But they can kill people all day on the streets. So there's so many parasites and things that dwell in animals. All kind of worms, parasites that dwell in animals, and people get licked on the face by cats, dogs, etc. Man, I don't want no children. You see babies change their diapers, but then they'll go deal with the dog. He might use it on the kitchen, or the cat, got the cat litter box right by the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? In the closet, right by the snacks, So that's why in Mark 9:44, where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched. So that's why you see all of that stuff connects. It deals with those parasites. That's why through flesh eating is parasites. But like I said, I just put that in the comment section below. Parasites are just in the body, but I mean at the same time, that's our objective, and that's what Yahushua was teaching us on how to rid away parasites. Purifying our temples. With walnut, with black walnut and wormwood, and all kind of in castor oils and etc. Purifying our body from parasites. It's very important to understand how it all works. So that's why you see how J. Cole, the dog is all God symbology too. Backwards, God is dog. So when you understand the dog goes into the shepherd, how the Lord is our shepherd. So you see how J. Cole had the climb back, the Lion King on ice, and he got Lewis Street, and then you see that car in the background, and the dog is on chains. So when you understand the whole thing with the car is very important, because when you understand the word car, the word Christ derives out of kara, karas, which means the anointed Messiah. So ka means soul, ra means light. So the karas, the car, So that's why they created the car, because they want people to be their own gods. That's why they be like, yeah, I got my dog, hanging his head out the window. It's all kind of levels of things that people don't even know they're doing, but they just, they ride, gotta take my dog for a ride, he hangs his head out the window, and they, what I'm saying, animals are mediums too. Animals are able to be used as a medium for familiar spirits, which I'll get into in a little bit. But the thing is, you see how J. Cole got the dog on the chain because they want to prevent the Messiah, from rising up. They want to prevent the saints from rising up, They don't want the saints and the Messiah to come into power.